Hey guys, it's Kyle. Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to be talking about the black hole trap in Piggy. So first I'm going to tell you what the black hole trap in Piggy does. I like to call it the anti-camping trap, and you'll see why in a second. So basically, you'll start out with 4 traps. You used to start out with 2, but it was much stronger, and then they made it a little bit weaker but added 2 more traps. But basically, if you place down a trap and a certain amount of studs away from a player, they'll start being sucked into the trap like a black hole. As you can see, my alt is being sucked into the trap and eventually got caught. So you can use this for many different things, like if the player is camping. Sometimes maybe even if they're glitching, but you have to kind of be in a really thin wall to get a camper. But you can use it for many things. It's basically the anti-camping trap, like I've said many times. So this trap also works well in vents. So a lot of people go into the vents and they hang out. So like they're hanging by the vent barely, but they don't fall down, and the piggy can't get them if they try to sort of like move into the wall. The piggy can't get them. So I'm going to give that example with my alt in my main account. So I'm going to try to get my alt, who is hanging right out the vent, and I can't get them. I push forward, I walk forward, I can't get them. But if I put a trap there, then they're going to start being sucked back into the trap. And the only way they could escape that trap and not get caught into it is by falling down the vent. So win-win basically, and you're able to get them out of the vent. You can also put it on stairs, which works really well, because if you put it at someplace in the stairs, and it's thin stairs, it's going to be hard for them to pass it. There's many things you can do. So right now I'm going to give an example of putting a trap where if they go through the vent, they're going to fall through the vent and they're going to get stuck on the trap. So the vents were near the hay, so I'm going to try to put it right there. And once my alt falls through the vent, it's going to be caught into the trap. So I put it a little bit upward because I jumped a bit. I did put it a little bit far away from the vent, so it probably won't be sucked in, but if I put it a little bit closer to the vent, it will be sucked in a bit more. It did get sucked in a tiny bit, but not that much. But even if you put it somewhere there, it'll still get sucked in to the trap. Just the only problem is, like, if the character is moving more, it can escape the trap easier. So you really have to be careful where you put it. So yeah, the next clip I'm going to show is how far you can be from the trap till you start getting sucked in. So as you can see, my main account's starting to get sucked into one of my old traps, and you can go farther away, but it'll still suck you in until about that point, so maybe like 5 studs away. It is pretty strong. It used to be stronger. You could do a lot more to it, and it was pretty OP. There was only 2 traps though, so they made it a bit weaker. Well, Mini2 made it a bit weaker and added 2 more traps. I would totally be fine with it still being 2 traps, but a bit stronger. But I do like it the way it is, so yeah. The next example I'm going to show is if a character is on top of a block that you can't get to, like in other Piggy maps, like actual Piggy maps, you can't get onto the blocks, but I think those specific crates you can jump onto if you're a Piggy. But my alt is on those blocks, and the Piggy, it's kind of hard for the Piggy to get up there. The crates, the Piggy can get up there, but other blocks they can't. So if I can't get to them, I could just put a trap right there and then they'll get caught into it. So as you can see, they got caught and I can just go ahead and kill them. Yeah, so if they sort of get in a little place where the piggy can't get to them, you can just place down a trap near it and they'll be able to get them. So this is another example of me showing how close you have to be till it gets sucked in. If you do jump while you're being sucked in, or you're about to be sucked in, it'll get sucked in much quicker. So let's say if they're like in sort of through the air, like levitating, like as you can see, I jumped and it sucked me in much quicker. So that's another way you can get them. You used to be able to do more stuff with it. Like for example, in House, you could fall down the very top as Piggy, where the wood would be placed, and you could place a trap, and if someone was going up there, they would be sucked in and they'd be stuck there because they wouldn't be fully sucked in. They wouldn't be trapped. But as you can see, I placed a trap at the bottom of the stairs and my alt tried to jump around it but couldn't. And like I said earlier, if you jump, it'll suck you in faster. So normally you can get around traps like that by jumping, but for that it sucks you in much more if you jump. So it's really hard to get around that trap if you're in a situation like that. So now my alt account is up on 2 blocks, and you can sort of glitch up there. For this, it's easier to get up there because I put a block and then you can jump onto it. You can go in the hay and then jump onto it. The piggy can't do that. They try to jump and they can't do it. And it's also very hard to get on 1 block in the first place. So it's possible that the piggy, after many tries, can get up there, but it's probably pretty hard. So if you put a trap there, it doesn't suck you in as much because of the weakness. So it didn't suck my alt in quite yet, but then I sort of jumped and then placed a trap, and I was able to get them to fall down into the trap. So I tried jumping. You can't put it close, of course. You used to be able to put a whole pool of spikes, but you can't now. So I jumped and I placed a trap, and my alt fell into the trap. Another thing you can do in a situation like that is you could put the trap right there like I did earlier, and it didn't suck them in, but you could sort of put double traps so they have more time into the trap and they can't really escape it because they're right next to each other. And once they fall into one trap and the trap lets go of them, they'll go right into the other trap, and it's really hard to escape situations like that, so that's why the trap is pretty OP. So yeah. Now I'm going to give an example of if like a player is inside a room and they're not coming out, or like certain situations. This you would easily kill them, but you can also do this for campers. The blocks are too thick, but if there's a really thin wall, like I said earlier, they might get caught into the trap and their leg or something would go through the wall and they would get trapped. But if it's not close enough, like you can't go through the wall like that, but let's say they glitched in and then you put it at the door, they could get sucked in and then you could kill them because they glitched. So as you can see, I put a trap on the other side of the wall and they're getting sucked into the trap when they're still inside. So you could also put it on the other side of it and they'll basically be stuck. It'll be pretty hard for them to get out without you getting them. And for certain rooms like this is very small, so it'd be pretty easy to kill them. You could also put one at the door. But if there was bigger rooms, you could put traps on the sides of the walls or something like that, or in the doorway or anything like that. and they'll be sucked into it and you can kill them. So as you can see, my character is trying to come out. It's pretty hard for them, and if I had another trap, I could put it at the doorway, like just in front of the doorway, and they wouldn't be able to really get out at all until you kill them. So that's all I have to show you guys today. Like I said, the traps were kind of downgraded and you got 2 more. But I really like those traps. They're one of my favorites. It'd be pretty cool. You could also like make them 2 traps. I'd be fine with that. Like it would be pretty cool if it had 2 of the black hole traps, but they also had sort of the alarm trap thing where it would give you an alarm if they got caught in it. Or maybe if they were getting sucked into it, it would give you an alarm. It would be like a very good trap. Maybe that'll be in the future, I don't know. But I really like those traps, and they're very good for trying to kill campers, because I know a lot of people camp. But yeah, anyways guys, tell me in the comments what your favorite traps are, and yeah, bye!